A single dad named Daniel walked into a small family restaurant one cold evening after picking up his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, from school. They had planned to have dinner at home, but the electricity in their neighborhood went out, and the little girl begged him for pancakes from her favorite place instead. Daniel agreed, thinking it would be a simple, peaceful dinner. But that evening turned into something he would remember for the rest of his life, because of a waitress who never smiled. The restaurant was warm compared to the chilly wind outside. Families were chatting, couples were laughing, and soft music played in the background. But while the place felt alive, something felt different about the young waitress serving the tables. She moved quickly and quietly, avoiding eye contact, keeping her head down, and wearing an expression so blank that it almost felt like she was hiding behind it. She approached Daniel and his daughter with a notebook in her hand. Her voice was polite but so flat that even Lily noticed. She didn't smile, not even the polite professional smile waitresses usually give automatically. She simply asked, "What can I get for you?" As if she hadn't slept in days. When she walked away, Lily looked up at her father and whispered, "Daddy, why is she so sad?" Daniel didn't want to assume anything, but he had noticed it too. Something about the girl's face held a heaviness, like she was carrying a weight no one else could see. He tried brushing it off, telling Lily that maybe the waitress was just tired from a long day. But even he didn't fully believe that. Their food arrived quickly, and the waitress set the plates down gently, almost mechanically. She still didn't smile, not even when Lily thanked her with a bright grin the way kids do. Instead, the young woman simply nodded and went on to the next table. Throughout the meal, Daniel found himself watching her. She was young, maybe in her early 20s. She worked fast but carefully, never wasting a second. But she moved like someone running on empty. Even when customers were rude or impatient, she didn't react. She just kept working with the same empty expression. There was a moment when she dropped a glass near the drink station. It shattered loudly. Everyone turned their heads. She froze for half a second, inhaling sharply as if bracing for someone to yell at her. But no one did. Still, instead of laughing it off or brushing it aside, she immediately apologized, her voice shaking. Daniel felt something twist in his chest. People don't react like that unless life has taught them to expect punishment. When she brought the bill toward the end of the meal, Daniel couldn't help himself. Something inside him pushed him to say something, not out of curiosity, but out of genuine concern. He looked at her gently and asked, "Can I ask you something? I noticed you never smile, is everything okay?" It was a simple question. But it hit her like a blow she wasn't prepared for. The waitress froze. Her eyes widened, and for a moment, she looked like she wanted to run away. She opened her mouth to speak but no words came. She blinked rapidly as tears began to form, and she quickly wiped them, embarrassed. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I'm not supposed to talk about personal things while on shift." Daniel shook his head. "You don't have to explain anything if you don't want to. I just wanted to make sure you're all right." That simple act of kindness shattered the wall she had built around herself. She glanced at Lily, who was quietly watching her with innocent concern, and then back at Daniel. She swallowed hard before whispering, "People don't usually ask. Most don't even notice." Her voice cracked as she continued. "It's been a very hard month. My mom passed away recently. She was all I had. And," she paused, breathing unsteadily, "I had to take this job to cover the funeral costs. I'm still trying to catch up on rent, bills, everything. I come straight here from the hospital every day because my little brother is still admitted. He's only 12. Daniel felt his throat tighten. This young woman, barely out of her teenage years, was carrying burdens that would overwhelm anyone. She kept speaking, wiping her tears with the back of her hand. "I don't smile because I don't have it in me right now. I'm just trying to get through each day. I didn't want anyone to feel uncomfortable, so I thought it was better to stay quiet." Lily reached out her small hand and placed it gently on the waitress's wrist. "My mommy is in heaven too," she said softly. "It hurts, but my daddy says people like you deserve kindness." The waitress broke completely. She crouched down beside Lily, tears falling freely now, and hugged her. It was a pure, fragile moment, two strangers connected by pain, and a child's innocent empathy. Daniel reached into his wallet, but not to simply pay the bill. He took out a $100 bill, then added another, and then another. He placed them inside the receipt booklet until it was much thicker than usual. When the waitress stood up, wiping her eyes and trying to regain her composure, Daniel handed her the booklet and said, "I know it's not much compared to everything you're going through. But I hope it helps, even a little." She opened it, and her hands began to shake. She stared at the money, stunned, her lips trembling as she whispered, I can't take this. It's too much. You don't even know me." Daniel gave her a gentle smile. "Maybe not. But I can see you're fighting a battle no one your age should fight alone. Let this be the world's way of reminding you that good things can still happen." The young woman broke down again, but this time it wasn't from pain, it was from relief. She covered her face, crying silently as she tried to thank him but couldn't find the words. Other customers watched, some confused, some touched. But Daniel didn't care who was looking. He stood up, guided Lily toward the door, and before leaving, turned back to the waitress and said softly, "One day, when life gives you the chance, pass on the kindness. That's all I ask." The waitress nodded, still crying, holding the booklet to her chest like it was the most precious thing she had received in a long time. As Daniel and Lily walked out into the cold night air, Lily tugged at her father's sleeve. "Daddy," she said, "do you think she'll smile now?" Daniel looked back through the restaurant window. The waitress was standing by the counter, wiping her tears, but there was a tiny, fragile smile forming, like the first light after a long storm. "Yes," Daniel whispered, "I think she will." The next time they visited the restaurant a month later, something was different. The same waitress came to their table, but she looked brighter. Her hair was neatly tied, her posture stronger, and her eyes, though still tired, carried a spark of hope. And this time, she smiled when she greeted them. A real smile. She thanked Daniel quietly that day, telling him his kindness helped her pay her rent and buy her brother the medication he needed. Things were still hard, but she said his gesture reminded her that the world wasn't as cold as she thought. Daniel realized then that sometimes, the smallest question, a simple, "Are you okay?" can heal wounds we never see. And sometimes, the people who smile the least are the ones who need kindness the most.